The following program speaks about sex education. This serves as an educational material, and some information or language can be offensive or disturbing to others. Viewer discretion is advised. The San Beda University College of Nursing proudly presents the Spectrum Views on Sex Education. Ignorance is not a bliss. Sex education, and for today, you will be listening to me, Antoinette Luisa Guasin.
And I'm Daniela Carongoy, and we welcome you. Ignorance is not a bliss. Sex education. For episode 1, we will start, ano nga ba ang SOGI? In the context, ano ba ang sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression? In the recent years, healthcare centers have started understanding the importance of incorporating sexual orientation and gender identity, or SOGI. In their medical records, traditionally, once assigned sex at birth is the biological sex, which is yung female at saka yung male. Nakabase siya sa sex chromosomes ng bata. Biological sex exists on a spectrum. Today, we define sexual orientation as ito ay bahagi ng ating pagkatao na nagde-define kung sino ba ang gusto natin romantically and sexually. At kung ano ang mga relasyon ng binubuo natin. Oriented ang iyong desire. Habang ang gender identity is a person's own sense of gender. What do you think of who you are in terms of masculinity and femininity and non-binary? Nakadepende siya kung paano ina-express ng isang tao. And gender expression is how they present themselves to the world.
So ngayon, ano ang layunin ng sex education? So the goal of sex education is to educate young people about issues such as sex, sexuality, and body development. High-quality sex education can help people from having STDs and unexpected pregnancies. It also reduces the risk of having unsafe sex and promotes responsible family planning. Our country should gradually implement sex education and access to contraception to address such concerns that are of your overpopulation and high rates of teen pregnancies. We can also help in increasing the knowledge of HIV and its awareness. Ngayon tumungo naman tayo kung ano-ano ang mga programa na ginagawa sa ibang bansa na may kinalaman sa sex education. So narito ang 5 sa mga nangungunang programa sa sex education sa mundo, na lahat ay naglalayong turuan ang mga kabataan sa pagbuo ng mga komunidad tungkol sa kanilang sexuality at kanilang mga karapatan.
Una dito, ang India, meron silang Young People's Foundation, A Healthy Attitude Towards Gender. Yung programang ito ay ginawa siya para as a progressive curriculum to teach young people about gender equality, sexual diversity, and consent. The program is offered across India and consists of 14 sessions sa mga batang nag-eedad na 12 years old hanggang sa 20 years old. Na meron silang activities such as role play, artwork, and games.
Sunod naman ay ang sa Nicaragua. Champions of Change program empowering girls by educating boys. There is significant incidence of violence against women across Latin America, as well as girls under the age of 14 being pregnant. Most schools, however, do not provide sex education. The program Plan International is educating young men to oppose macho, sexist, and archaic attitude that can disempower women and perpetuate discrimination and inequality. The Champions of Change program work with 15 to 19-year-old Nicaraguan school, encouraging empathy and respect for girls. The program has developed separate but interconnected journeys of change for both girls and boys. The journey for girls focuses on self-esteem, rights awareness, collective power, and economic empowerment. The journey for boys includes learning how to avoid contributing to inequality and transform discriminatory attitudes and behaviors that perpetuate imbalances of power. They have the opportunity to learn how unfair expectations and negative masculinities also influence them, as well as how they can support girls' rights and gender equality. The program's concept can be conceived by Latin American young women. They stated that they are aware of the issues, but they do not have the authority to modify things on their own. So the aim of the program is to work with boys and girls to come together and discuss their evolving perspectives on gender and social development, and also work together to discover answers for their communities.
Dumako naman tayo sa Europe. Meron silang Keep Me Safe program, consent, classes for people with learning difficulties. Society tends to view people with learning difficulties as asexual, which can lead to abuse. Sexual abuse is estimated to affect up to 90% of individuals with intellectual disabilities. In Romania, the demand for support for individuals with learning disabilities significantly outweighs the supply, placing thousands of people at risk. And despite this, sexual education is not taught in many special needs schools around the world, including Romania. Sa programa nila, the IPPF has engaged with local communities to promote safety and empower young people with intellectual disabilities to understand their sexuality, such as consent, limits, and sexuality are all the topics covered in the Keep Me Safe program. The program, gumagamit sila ng dolls, art, and activities. Meron ngang na interview na psychologist na si Eugenia Behar, who works on the program and has an autistic daughter, says, "We use writing, language, and pictures to talk about relationships." Sa simula daw, na feel nila parang uncomfortable sila at pinagtatawanan yung topic, pero as time goes on, nagiging interested sila and they are able to speak their mind. According naman kay Carmen Soriano, a director of the program in Romania, sabi niya, "We teach concept by forming a circle and inviting someone into the center. We explain that this is your personal space and that people should ask your permission to come closer."
Now, Nigeria has My Question getting answers by text message. According to a survey from Education as a Vaccine, or EVA, one out of every three 18 years old already has a child or is pregnant. Abstinence-based sex education exists on paper. In schools, says Fadikemi Akinfederin Agaro, who founded EVA. However, contraception, consent, gender, and equality, and also LGBT concerns are not taught. The program My Question, created by EVA, allows young people to obtain answers to their sex related inquiries by text, phone, or social media. It implies that young people may receive anonymous advice at any time from any location. Every day, 7 advisors are on hand to answer concerns about anything from sex to contraception to periods and relationships. According to EVA, 12,000 to 15,000 queries are received through SMS each month, since it delivers accurate, non-judgmental, and confidential information anonymously.
For the USA naman, meron silang Teen Pregnancy Prevention Program. The Office of Population Affairs, or OPA, Teen Pregnancy Prevention, TPP, a program is a national evidence-based grant program that funds diverse organizations working to prevent teen pregnancy across the United States. The OPA invests in the implementation of effective TPP programs and provides funding to develop and evaluate new and innovative approaches to comprehensive sex education, preventing teen pregnancy, HIV, STI prevention among adolescents, youth development, service learning, abstinence-based approach, and promoting optimum health. So, that sums up with our episode 1 dito ngayon sa podcast natin na Ignorance is not a bliss. So, balik po kayo sa aming episode 2.